person and also what they're dealing with. I've worked with quite a few people where they've seen vast improvements in their health with just taking the compounds. I mean, with just changing their diet, the recommended list. But to really get over the hump, for you to, you know, take your body to another level, you would have to do the compounds.
Okay, I figured that because most people ask me, oh, I can't afford it, which some people I know they could, because we thought we couldn't afford a lot of stuff until we started eating healthy and we saw we spending money on this. And
right.
Basically, people spend money just to sit in a room with TV and everything.
Right, exactly. But, I mean, honestly, it is kind of difficult for people that can't afford it, right, because you work that 9 to 5, you're paid, you know, average $12, $13 an hour. You still have rent to pay, or mortgage, car note, kids, you know, electricity, all those things, and it is difficult. And that's why, you know, one of the things that I've tried to work on for years now is a nonprofit organization, you know, to help people, you know, start a program and get support from the community, and of course from myself, because I do donate packages and I try to work out payment plans with as many people as possible. But you know, even the herbs for me are expensive. They can be really, really expensive, but I definitely try my hardest to work with as many people as possible. Just like when you guys brought Angela to me, you said, look, we have about half the amount for her package, and I was just like, we're gonna work with that. Mm-hmm. She's gonna get healed. She's gonna get her herbs, and you know, we got it. And she's fine. She's walking and talking now. So
that was the number one reason why I said we need to stick with Xave, because Xave, that was just too big for us. We felt like we was doing too much, and then when we saw what you did, it was like, oh no, we ain't nowhere near got a big all year, babe. So that was definitely a big eye opener when you did that.
Any questions?
No, I just asked her that about the herbs and about the doctor. But I had another question for you, make me forget. Where is it? Let me pull it up. Okay.
My question is, what's for dinner?
Midwife. Do you have any sisters in line for midwife? Because a lot of sisters are looking, and Miranda gonna be the first to get it out there. But we definitely gonna work on the natural herb, and I was just trying to see if you had any kind of information for people. Well, because I know you was going natural, right?
Yes. Oh no, I was definitely more natural. In terms of midwives, I don't really know.
Well, we're going to have to start working on that.
We definitely have to ask the community and, you know, figure out where they are, because there has to be, you know, a great amount of, you know, midwives out there that we all want to utilize. I don't want to go to a hospital and have my baby when, you know, that time comes, but I definitely want a midwife. I'm sure there's a lot of us out there that
I put this on earlier, I was live, I said, the men, 10 men need to come together, put up some money to send them to get their midwife training, and they can be helpers of the community. Because think about this, if most kids get to be born naturally and then come off with the natural way, it blew my mind when I heard Dr.Sebi had a video. It was like, I think he called her mama Pat.
Oh, Matoon?
No, I forgot what he called it. It was like a nickname. She was sitting in the front row. He was like, don't cut the umbilical cord. Put some trees. I forgot what he said.
Okay. Probably some roots and different bark.
And he said it falls off.
Yes, it will fall off.
You serious?
Yes. Yes, it will.
We got some new people in the house.
Hi.
Sister Olivia.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
So you guys just came in with was asking questions. She was, you know, breaking it down as far as the things that she's involved with and why she decided to help us or whatever. So if you guys have any questions, you can ask before I go live.
Okay.
to the community.
I'm Miss Olivia Aman's mother, the diabetic in Philadelphia that we've been working with or trying to work with.
Yes.
So my question is the packet that you put together for him, it consists of exactly what? Herbs or?
It's different herbal compounds.
Okay, okay. And is this something that once the diabetes becomes under control that he will have to continue to use, or will there be a diet or regimen that will help him continue to maintain a normal pancreas activity?
Well, once you do the full program and the disease is eradicated, I would often encourage individuals to kind of stick with that nutritional guide because it will help to keep you healthy. But it really is up to you what type of diet you choose to do once you're done with the program.
Okay, so the initial herbs that are used to eradicate the disease, are they required the same initial herbs to continue, or can it be through, your diet of all green or all vegetarian? Would they still have to, I'm wondering, would they still have to continue to buy that initial herb or product?
He would have to continue to do the therapy until he's, completely healed. But once he's completely healed, he definitely doesn't have to.
Okay, now he's what they call a brittle diabetic,
Okay.
whereas it's uncontrollable
Right.
and be very high at one point, and then once the body lays down, it will drop very low. So it's hard to, regulate with insulin, and he constantly has to check his blood, level of sugar
Right.
all day. So how do you figure out what to do with that? If you like some diabetes is all high sugars all the time,
Right.
or the opposite is all low sugars all the time. He's both. And with this being said, and having dealing with that for 10 years now, he's got kidney issues.
Right.
He's got vision issues. That's all he's told me because I'm his mother and he doesn't want to tell me everything.
Right.
He's a big boy now, but those things I know, I'm wondering, will they be corrected as
Most
well?
definitely, because with the program that I would put together for him, this is to address every cell and organ in the body. There's not one area that's not going to be addressed. So with all the functions that come along with the diabetes and how it breaks down your body would also be addressed.
Okay. So he can expect improvement in kidney function as well?
Most definitely.
Okay,
Most
very good.
definitely.
That's very good.
Tell them don't clean their body and put something bad right in it, because
Exactly. Well, it's just commonly known, if you really think about it, that anytime the body will make a scab, it's its own Band-Aid. So it was designed to heal itself, if it's given what it needs to do.
Exactly. And that's
I
why.
thoroughly understand that.
Right.
It's just, being conditioned for so many years and generations of eating incorrectly.
Right.
It's hard to get away from that bag of Lay's potato chips.
It is. I definitely understand that. I've had my battles with it. I've been a starchitarian before. And when you're busy and you just have cravings for things, we always lean towards that bag of chips or fries or
Quick,
all
fast.
that kind of stuff. But yeah, it definitely does happen to the best of us.
Okay.
But as long as he can at least remain consistent, give himself a full 9 months to a year to really help his body repair, because you can get rid of diabetes, you can lower your glucose by doing a lot of different things, by doing an all-green diet. You'll see a vast improvement with the levels of glucose in the blood without actually taking any compounds.
True.
But that damage, what has occurred with you dealing with the diabetes, and what damage has been done to the pancreas for it to even malfunction and stop producing that insulin that we need.
Right.
So with taking the compounds again, it's also repairing your body.
I was explaining that to him earlier about how it cleans the mucus out, and then you continue the herbs to help build up the
Exactly.
damage that the mucus has done to the body. So that's
Exactly.
why I recommend, if it's about your health, you go on that first package and then you get something to keep revitalizing and attack. It also helps you to get away from your cravings. As long as I was taking the Viento and the good green food pills and the sea moss, I was on the high horse for months.
I want to, if we could for a second, rewind something back to about the sea moss.
Yes.
about not, no matter what, having CMOS in your home, as far as that is concerned. The importance of CMOS and how many minerals and stuff you said it had in it.
Well, it has 92 of the 102 minerals our bodies are composed of. So again, it's a whole food for the body. It gives you everything that you need to thrive. But it's just so essential because no matter what type of diet you have, you're not getting all the minerals that we think we're getting. And CMOS is something that provides that.
Because I'm playing around with so many names and I'm like, I just need something that's catchy, but at the same time, something
definitely
that's...
next generation. You know what? Because with this next generation, I think we're a little bit more aware. A lot more kids now are saying, "Hey, I want to be vegan."
Right.
You know, whether it be for superficial purposes or they just, study. They're just like, this is kind of what I want to do.
Right.
Beyonce is vegan.
Exactly.
Or, all these different people, and they seem to be doing really well. So I kind of want to, be vegan now. So I always, I would definitely be honored if you do that. But more and more people are leaning towards it.
They are.
But you were asking if you should do the chemotherapy along with the program. I have to be honest, I don't recommend, I personally don't recommend chemotherapy only because I know what it does to the body. But this is also the journey. So it's really what you feel more comfortable with. I've had many people start off the program with doing conventional care along with alternative. I've worked with people where they're on dialysis, and then they start taking the compounds and they get off of dialysis. People on radiation and chemotherapy that, begin the compounds and, start feeling better when they stop it. So it really is up to you. Would it interact negatively? Maybe, is that your question?
That was my question for you.
No, it's not going to interact negatively because the compounds have absolutely no chemicals or binders. It will not interact negatively.
But will the chemo reduce the effects of the compound? Really is what I'm concerned about because I did chemo, so I know what it does to your body.
Well,
So how would that, wouldn't that be like counteracting, fighting against what you're trying to build?
not necessarily, because if you think about it, if you're just solely doing chemotherapy, what it's taking from you. Now with you introducing the compounds, you're getting some type of support. And would it, take away from the quality of the products? Absolutely not. It's really your system and how your body's responding to that chemotherapy is the real question. But no, it will not interact negatively.
So within the medications that I'm taking and taking the chemo, and if I introduce the compounds, how's that going to interact?
It's not going to
It's just going to help build up my immune
It's
system.
only going to help build your body.
Because you're not getting nutrients anyway right now with the food that we eat. So the herbs are going to add what you need to it. You're going to feel better taking the herbs, and it's going to want you to leave the medicine alone. Because I know when y'all take the medicine, make you feel droopy or a certain type of way, mood swings, things like that. When the herbs are uppity, it's like
That's why I'm thinking that it would make the herbs have to work twice as hard, because there's so many side effects from the pharmaceuticals that you're taking. I'm just wondering how the herbs could counteract all the damage that's being done, because they're very strong. That, even though they minimize them, if you really listen to what they're saying, they're crucial to your body's function overall, and mainly your major organs.
Right.
But when you're doing the chemo, radiation, and we already eating unhealthy, automatically your body's sick. That right there, it doesn't replenish anything. It doesn't replenish, all it does is take away. When they was asking me about, like, in the beginning when I had the medication, and then I was taking the natural herbs, people were asking about, like, side effects. Did I have side effects? Did I have this? As I started taking myself off meds and then just incorporating the natural herbs, I started saying, oh, I don't want to take this in the morning. Then I just started just taking this one. And then one day I just said, I don't want none of them. And then, but overall, I did notice that I didn't have as much as the tiredness. Although I wanted to sleep a lot at first, my whole thing was always sleep. But also that was letting my body to be able to heal.
Exactly.
At the same token. But I noticed that, then it was one time when I started, like I told you, the cheating with the food. And then all of a sudden it was like back to feeling that it was a different tired. It wasn't the tired that you get when you just say, okay, my body wants to rest. But it was more of a tired where it's like, it beats you up type of tired. Yeah, fatigue, I mean total fatigue. When you don't want to do absolutely nothing. But to say side effects, although I read your label on how to take it, I didn't go according to that. At first, I was on it like rigid. And then it got to the point where I alleviated this and I did more of yours. Where I was supposed to, like morning and night, mine went to morning, lunch, and night. Morning, lunch, and night. But I started feeling
Electricity.
instantly.
Oh.
But at first, yeah, and then it was a couple times, like when I went to go visit, my husband would say, "Are you supposed to take that now?" And I'm like, "Yeah." and really, I wasn't. But I was like, I wanted it. I enjoyed it because your body started reacting to
Yes.
what. Yeah, like she could say, there's times when I like couldn't open, can't do this, can't do that. But then once you got something that can enable you to do something, that's when you're gonna want more.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it is, concentrated food. It is that. So your body will tell you, I want more of something. I have a lot of people that don't take the same dosages on the bottle.
Right.
Depending on who I'm working with and what
Right.
they're dealing with, those
Right.
dosages definitely change.
Right.
And even for myself, when I'm working, because I produce the compounds, I do the consultations,
Right.
I ship the packages,
And it was one time I did
Everything.
something on Facebook and you were like, you had a picture, you was like, I'm taking my herbs tonight. And then I went to go take mine. I said, did I just double up? And then I was like, okay. And I just went to take mine. But I said, and I noticed that it didn't cause no harm. It didn't cause no,
acid reflux.
no acid reflux. It didn't cause no, like when people were asking me, did you go to the bathroom a lot? Did you eliminate a lot? Now, when I first did the CMOS, it took me some adjustment to
Yes.
when I tried, I called
Yeah.
her, and she says, oh, do the tea. And when I went to go do the tea, I was like,
Ooh, that's not for everybody.
I was
That's
like, no.
for everybody.
I take every day.
I couldn't keep it down. And then I went to saying, all right, you're gonna try your own recipe. So then I went to use yogurt, and then he was like, yogurt is not the answer, you're not the answer. And so then I said, okay. So then I went and got the unsweetened applesauce. And then I started mixing the sea moss in the applesauce. And then I was looking at it going, so then I sprinkled some raisins and little nuts and then when I started eating, I was like, okay. And it stayed down.
Yeah.
Because my first issue, like with the cancer, I had a problem keeping it stuff down.
Right.
So once I started getting it, I was like, I got a new recipe.
Yeah, it's something that fit for you.
It fit for me.
Yeah.
And it was able, now I drink the tea.
Yeah.
I drink it like,
Because you just get to
after
different
you get used to it,
parts.
you get used to it.
But your body requires it. So
Right.
that taste bud, what we think we want, it changes so drastically. Because there are people that have fought me for taking or cursed me out, sending me crazy text messages about that CC4.
Oh, wait a minute. Now the CC4. All the other ones I was like, but when I got to the CC4, I said, hold up, wait a minute. The CC4 was like,
Is that the one you had me trying, Wilbur?
I was like, yeah, I said, please just test it. And my husband, I said, Nadine, Angie, the herbs are natural, the herbs are natural. I said, no, just put a taste on your tongue. And he wanted that. What is this? I said, I don't know, but all I know is, and then after a while,
You didn't taste it anymore.
I didn't taste that.
Because you started associating that taste with how good you felt.
But let
So
me
then
tell you,
that
I didn't
taste
know,
goes away.
I just know that CC4 at night for me was comfort.
Yes.
I can't explain it. All I know was at nighttime, CC4 had me and it's like, okay. And I slept.
It makes you sleep so.
And not only the quality of sleep that
Yes.
you get out of it, of the CC4, and not only that, I started saying, I dream more in detail.
Yes, you do.
I
Yes,
said, I
you do.
dream